So I'm an idiot. If you didn't think it before watching this video, you will after. I have officially 10 days until my second year dissertation is due. That is terrifying because I am literally nowhere near done. Let me explain. Let me give you the backstory before we dive into the chaos that is going to be this video. So some people might be going, Anna, you're a second year. What do you mean you have a dissertation? Okay, so English at Cambridge, we have a dissertation in second year and third year. So for me, I've chosen to do mine on the long 18th paper and I'm doing it on Afro-Ben. So let me just give you a little bit of a timeline history of this dissertation. So I actually wrote an essay last year, about this time last year, on Afro-Ben, and my supervisor at the time was like, this should be your dissertation next year. And I think that gave me a very false sense of security, in the sense that I was like, well, I already have, you know, like 2,500 words done, so like that's fine, that's a really good base. I just need to like flesh it out a bit. Wrong. So wrong, so wrong. Yeah, so that was the first thing that I did disastrously wrong. This summer I did like extra reading. I didn't do was read enough extra critical reading over the summer. The next issue is entirely not my fault. I ended up in hospital and really quite ill for most of Michaelmas term, and then most of last term I was like recovering, and I've only really gotten to a place where I'm feeling semi-okay. So that is a large issue, which is entirely not my fault, right? So now it's got to crunch time and I have somehow need to do it all in the next 10 days. I have done a draft and I met with my supervisor yesterday. We went for a coffee and we had a meeting about it, and I do have like a vague idea of what I need to do now. Another large issue that we are facing currently is that it is Easter weekend. So I went yesterday evening after my meeting, straight away after my meeting, to the English faculty, and it is shut until Tuesday. And all of the books that I need, I can only get in the English faculty. So I've managed to get some as like online ebooks, so that is the plan, to read the ones that I actually can get. Literally I'm gonna end up being like in a cave of dissertation. It's literally just gonna be me, my dissertation for the foreseeable future. Is this video a form of procrastination from the dissertation? Yes. So without further ado, let's go to the library. Thankfully my college library was still open today, and I went to the common room and I made myself a cup of tea because they have like tea and biscuits for us in here. Really quiet this morning, which was really lovely and allowed me to be quite productive actually. Shocker. I managed to read the 2 chapters that were suggested from Terry Castle's book Masquerade and Civilization, which is a critical work, and I also read Dryden's translation of Concerning the Nature of Love, which is a long poem translation of a work by Lucretius. I'm going to go for a quick walk and grab myself a nice lunch and sit in the sun for a little bit for my lunch break. I'm also going to grab some like sugary snacks and things just to snack on while I'm studying this afternoon and tomorrow. But there's really nothing I can do about it, so we're both just gonna have to live with it. One thing that I normally when I'm stressed about exams or about work in general is bake. But at university I do not have an oven. So it is currently 9 PM and I am making soup from scratch like a normal person would. I have finally finished all of the reading that my supervisor suggested. I say all, actually, there's one book that I didn't manage to get an online access to, and I think my game plan is actually to create a new like mind map plan situation, make like almost a splurge on a piece of paper about everything I want to make sure that my dissertation covers. I just want to get all of my ideas out onto a page, like actually physically written out, just because speaking to my supervisor, he said that like when we were actually having the conversation was when my idea was the strongest. And it seemed that almost my written essay, I was trying too hard to create a voice that wasn't my own almost, and that my strength really is my own original idea. And what I really need to do is situate that idea within the already existing writing about Afro-Ben, but not feeling like I need to echo them or like imitate them in any way. I also needed to make my argument more strong throughout, so I really need to come to the conclusion of, he called it the tweetable version of what my argument is, and make sure that I'm carrying that in every single paragraph throughout the essay. Created my plan, and it is in a Venn diagram form because I want to do like 3 chapters almost on different themes that relate to my question as a way of organising my dissertation more clearly than its current format. My next plan of action is one that my supervisor suggested. I'm going to get up 3 Word documents, and each of the different Venn diagram titles are going to be the title of each document. I'm then going to move every paragraph from my draft that relates to each topic into the Word document of that topic. So now I have my 3 separate chapters in different documents. I want to think about them as almost like mini essays and think about them separately, and I want to make edits to them and sort of see what I want to change. So I have got them on my iPad and I'm scribbling all over them with different colours to mark what I want to add, what I want to move, what I want to change. This morning my supervisor sent me some annotated notes on my essay, so I am rewriting each section of my essay, taking into consideration both his notes and my own annotations that I did last night. And so far I've done 1 section and about 3/4 of the second section. It's a slow process, but I want to make sure that what I'm writing is good and well thought over. One thing I personally really like to do in my essays is talk about art. So my original version of my dissertation had a mention of a Baroque statue, but my supervisor has suggested that I look at some of the statues in the Wallace collection in London. Now, I don't have time to go to London, so I'm going to look at the website, and I'm really hoping that they have like a walkthrough tour, like a virtual tour that I can look at, or they have some photos of examples of statues that they have. So I have a draft. I know, absolutely shocking to everyone involved. I now have to write my synopsis, which goes before my essay, and it basically just explains what I've got going on in the essay, what my argument is, the text I use, etc, etc. It's quite self-explanatory, really. I'm actually ahead of the schedule that I thought I was going to be on. I've surprised myself like a lot. I've been having a very, very productive day today, which is odd, but you know, I'm not going to complain about it. my footnotes and my bibliography. I did originally think that I was just gonna leave doing these till tomorrow, because honestly I just find referencing so frustrating, and so I was gonna put it off, but then I thought, you know, I might as well just get on with it and I'll just do a bit, and then I ended up going, well, I've started now, might as well finish. And at least this time I had started to take notes of what I was reading, which sounds really obvious, but when I did my portfolio last year, I just didn't do that, and I spent days and days trying to find where I'd gotten quotes from, and it was just an absolute mess. But I'm gonna read over it tomorrow, double check it all, and then I'm gonna send it off to my other supervisor for them to read and hopefully get one more supervision soon. I have largely had today off as my mum and my sister came to visit, and it was really lovely, and I'm really glad I got the opportunity to do that instead of needing to work all day today. But it is now 6 p.m. and I'm going to read over what I've already written for this draft, and I also decided that I wanted to add one more paragraph because I have a point that I would really like to be included, even though I'm already over the word count, but hopefully my supervisor will tell me what is worth keeping. So I interestingly actually have two supervisors for this dissertation, one who's for like the general paper and one who specialises in Afro-Ben. Amazingly, my second supervisor has already gotten back to me with some notes on my dissertation so that I can start working on them this evening, and I'm going to meet with him on Zoom at 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I'm going to firstly read through all of his notes and then make any changes that I can and write down any questions that pop up that I want to ask him in my supervision tomorrow. I've also already seen in his email that he absolutely hates my synopsis basically and wants me to delete it all and start again with that. So that is also going to be something that I'm working on. Now 10:30 and I'm really tired. You know, we have to be realistic with what I'm setting myself to do. I'm very tired, so I need to sleep. I started today with my supervision, and then I didn't actually manage to get to a library until the afternoon as I was volunteering in some archives today, and I decided to go to the English faculty library because they had some books that I wanted to access while writing. So I was really silly and didn't realise that the library was closing early today at 5, so I ended up having to move over to the Forbes Mellon library after only being in the English faculty library for like an hour. So I don't really know how to even talk about this without crying, and it might be really silly that I'm this emotional about it, but basically my laptop crashed. It's an old laptop, I've had it for many years now, and yeah, so it crashed, and I kind of frantically called several different people trying to get help to try and figure out how I could get it working again, and it's just gone. So I've spent the whole evening trying to come to terms with that really and trying to figure out what to do. Thankfully I have a version on my memory stick. It's not the most recent version, so it's all really very frustrating and really overwhelming, and I've been in just like this absolute state of panic, largely just because right now, I mean, I can't afford a new laptop, but I mean, like, I've had to get one. I've ordered one now and it should arrive on Saturday evening. It's all very stressful and really just like the last thing that I needed to happen right now. I don't know whether it's like karma from the universe for leaving this to the last minute, or whether it's just like proof for you guys that you should not leave this to the last minute. If my stressing over the last couple of days has not proved that enough to you, there's always crashing laptops to prove it to you as well. So yeah. So the new laptop has arrived. Setting this up is going to be interesting, but we're going to give it a go. It might take me a while, but I'm going to try. That's the plan really for the rest of today, is to set it up, to see what I can rescue from my old laptop, hopefully rescue the most recent version of my dissertation. I was literally just like rocking around yesterday, just so stressed, because obviously I didn't have a laptop. There was nothing I could do. Hopefully I'll get this absolute mess sorted. Well, I will when I can actually figure out how to open this box. This has like become an unboxing video, and I would explain what laptop this is, but I'm genuinely so overwhelmed when it comes to electronics that I had to get my sister and my boyfriend to help me pick out one. So it's a laptop. Essay into the form that it needs to be in order to be sent off. So it needs to be like double spaced and made in actually readable sized font, because I don't know why, I really like writing with quite a small font. I'm then going to go over it for any spelling mistakes, and I'm also going to send it to someone to have a fresh look at for spelling mistakes and like grammatical mistakes, just because I'm like really bad at spelling, which is ironic for an English student. I can't believe it is already submission day. That's terrifying. I'm just doing one last read through, and I'm also checking it against the hand-in sort of document that we've been sent, and then I'm going to upload it to turn it in. And it's done. The dissertation is done. It's gone. It's submitted. Now all I can do is wait and hope and pray and keep absolutely all of my fingers crossed for a good result. So this has been a very stressful experience, if you couldn't tell from the whole video. I would not recommend it to anyone, but you know, it's done now. But yeah, leaving your dissertation to the last minute, it's not smart, it's not clever, don't do it, don't recommend it. But anyway, thank you for watching this video and coming along on this very stressful journey with me. For now, I'm going to reward myself with a nap.